Hi, my name's Emma. Teaching is a powerful profession. We have the opportunity to provide students with a strong foundation to become happy, capable, confident people who will contribute to the future of our world. As Wood highlights, children make up 25% of our population but are 100% of our future. The education and learning environment that we create for our students now can catapult students into brighter futures. My teaching philosophy is that all students can be successful learners, all students want to feel successful in learning, and all students want to feel valued and included. The keys to successful learning are relationships, meaningful learning experiences, appropriately challenging work that caters to individual needs, and the nourishment of self-confidence. The driving force behind my desire to teach is a commitment to do everything that I can to support children to become the most vibrant, dynamic versions of themselves. Postman and Weingartner highlight that the word educate is closely related to the word educe, which means to draw out of a person something potential or latent. My passion for teaching is to help students realise that they can accomplish anything, that they can be, do and create anything they put their mind to. My classroom will be characterised by a community that shares a vibrant enthusiasm for discovering and learning about the world we live in. Children are naturally curious and fascinated in the world around them. Through designing pedagogical approaches that inspire students to be active inquirers, children are no longer simply students in a classroom digesting facts. They are human beings actively exploring their world. I promote inquiry-based learning, drawing on Bruner's theory of discovery learning, a method of inquiry-based learning that believes it is best for learners to discover facts and relationships for themselves. Pickford, Garner and Jackson support this, asserting that learning through inquiry fully engages, motivates and challenges children, ensuring that real learning is taking place. Our classroom will be a safe, supportive and dynamic environment based on a culture of respect for each other and working together to create a collaborative learning environment. As Rees suggests, students will become resources for each other, gaining rich interpersonal skills as they work together to enhance each other's learning. The development of a safe, supportive classroom environment is influenced by Maslow's hierarchy of needs. To achieve goals, students need to have their fundamental needs met of feeling included, valued, and appreciated. Developing effective relationships is at the heart of student learning. Bibby emphasises the importance of a caring teacher who is able to see, hear, and value each pupil and who respects them individually and collectively. My classroom will actively create strong, respectful, collaborative relationships between students and the teacher, and between the teacher and parents. I approach education recognising that each child is unique and therefore have unique learning needs. I treat and value my students as individuals and instill in them a joy for learning and a common goal of co-creating a collaborative learning environment where everyone can grow as individuals and as a team. My pedagogical approach is highly influenced by the works of Dewey, Freire, Hinchey, Giroux and Concello. The approaches that these theorists describe deeply resonate with me and are the natural instinct that I've always had towards education. Their descriptions help cement my teaching philosophy and provide a practical illustration of these approaches in the classroom. As advocated by these theorists, my pedagogical approach is founded in an intention to develop students to have independent minds with astute critical thinking skills. My teaching philosophy is aligned with Dewey's concept of freedom, encouraging freedom of intelligence, freedom of thought, desire and purpose. It is my intention to draw out and enhance the unique personalities, strengths and talents of my students. As per Dewey's teaching philosophy, I believe that education is based on experience, and my classroom practices will be designed to immerse students in positive learning experiences that enhance their potential for future learning and stimulate students' desire to learn and grow. My classroom approach is consistent with Freire, who states that students are no longer docile listeners. They are now critical co-investigators in dialogue with the teacher. And as Dewey describes, the teacher loses the position of external boss or dictator and takes on the role of a leader of group activities. Consistent with theorists such as Dewey and Concello, my pedagogical approach is student-centered. I'm committed to understanding the way that my students learn best and dedicated to creatively delivering the curriculum in a way that students can gain maximum engagement and growth. In my classroom, effort is acknowledged and valued just as strongly as academic achievement. All students are supported, challenged appropriately, and extended to reach their personal best in everything they do. My teaching strategies draw on the model of Bloom's taxonomy, supporting students to develop skills on a fundamental level and then apply higher level thinking to foster further development of skills. My pedagogical approach integrates concepts of humanism, behaviorism, constructivism, and cognitivism. Humanism is the pedagogical approach that believes learning is a personal act to fulfill one's potential. I believe the purpose of education is to enhance children to be everything that they can be. My classroom management approaches draw on Skinner's behaviourist theory. My approach to classroom management is to bring students' awareness back to the simplicity of how their behaviour is impacting others and directly linking it back to social responsibility. Hinchy highlights that in constructivist methodology, because students need to build their own understanding of information and ideas, their interests and experiences are very important to classroom life. Vygotsky believed that strongly that community plays a central role in the process of making meaning. Vygotsky views interaction with peers as an effective way of developing skills and strategies. He suggests that teachers use cooperative learning experiences where less competent children develop with help from more skillful peers. I frequently draw on this concept, as shown in the third example to be described in a moment. The following examples demonstrate how my practice meets the Australian teaching standards. Standard 1.1, using teaching strategies based on knowledge of students' physical, social, and intellectual development and characteristics to improve student learning. As a private tutor, one of my students is a grade 5 boy with dyslexia. His mother came to me with concerns that his school were excluding him from the curriculum, alarmed that the school had essentially given up on him. The school even went to the extent of requesting that he leave their school. This boy's physical, social, and intellectual needs were not being catered for in the classroom, and rather than being recognised for the kind, happy, funny, and compassionate person that he was judged as a difficult student, based on his outbursts of distress and frustration. He is a very intelligent boy, however, due to dyslexia, he struggled immensely with schoolwork. The school did not see the enormous effort he was putting in every day, and due to the classroom culture, he felt that he was a failure and viewed himself as dumb. How I engaged this student was firstly to develop a strong relationship based on kindness, respect, and an unwavering faith in his abilities. I ensured that he knew that I believed in him. My pedagogical approach demonstrated here is influenced by Maslow's hierarchy of needs, recognizing that this student needed to feel safe, acknowledged, and understood and valued. Lessons were designed in a fun, creative approach, making activities as interactive and lively as possible. We viewed every learning experience as an adventure to see what new skills we could master. We created a positive learning momentum using Dewey's principle of the experiential continuum, linking new experiences with existing experiences, providing firm foundations for future positive learning experiences. Every lesson designed for this student involved a hands-on element. For example, students' learning of subtraction flourished through the game created that I called the Grumpy Old Troll. I created this game to tangibly demonstrate the concepts behind subtraction with trading. The game used real-life elements of money. A subtraction sum was written, and then the student collected the money from the bank using $10 notes and $1 coins. When crossing the bridge, the troll would demand money to cross his bridge, and if the student didn't have the correct amount of money, they would have to go to the bank to exchange $10 note for $1 coins to complete the rest of the subtraction sum. Once his trading understanding was established, the concept was then transferred to using MAB blocks, and then the student was then able to transfer this knowledge to performing the sum purely on a worksheet. This activity illustrates Vygotsky's zone of proximal development. The student thoroughly enjoyed the process, and once we removed this scaffold, he could confidently complete worksheets on subtraction and trading and literally beamed with the delight in the process. His confidence was key to success in his learning. He no longer felt dumb. Once this student felt he could succeed, the momentum of his confidence transferred to all other areas of learning. Standard 4, creating and maintaining supportive, safe learning environments. 4.1, support student participation. Creating supportive, safe environments for children is at the core of who I am as a teacher and at the core of effective teaching. I mindfully create inclusive environments supporting student participation and supporting a sense of camaraderie among students. A simple example of classroom practice to support student participation was a role-play activity for students that I conducted on placement recently. In teams of 4, students created and performed a play which illustrated a scenario in which a child was being excluded, and then turned the situation around using strategies to create an inclusive environment. After each performance, several of the audience members gave peer feedback to encourage and support the performers, sharing what they enjoyed about the performance and what they gained from the performance. This learning experience brought the students closer together and helped them feel valued and acknowledged by each other. The classroom I create with my students will be characterised by a sense of social cohesion and inclusion. It will be a safe environment where students support each other's growth and well-being. I will achieve this through modelling by valuing students and their contributions, and by encouraging students to actively value and encourage each other. Standard 2.2 Content and Teaching Strategies of the Teaching Area. To support students to develop skills in measurement, I designed a measurement conversion game to help bring learning to life and intertwine the learning of measurement with a sense of joy and social interaction to support each other's learning. This game drew on constructivist theories whereby students develop skills in a social setting, acting as a resource to support each other. Students also benefited through Bandura's theory of modelling off each other. Bandura's social learning theory posits that people learn from one another via observation, imitation, and modelling. The game was visually bright and appealing, and a student comment was, "Wow, when I look at this I just see an explosion of fun. It makes me really want to learn and play." The content was directly linked to the Auswell's curriculum goals of learning measurement conversions. The teaching strategy resulted in students becoming astoundingly efficient in converting measurements. Students who would ordinarily struggle with converting measurements were able to develop proficiency to such a high level that they could convert instantly without using pen and paper. This successful experience had a powerful effect on their self-esteem and their self-belief in their ability to achieve. In conclusion, children will be facing a future that will have challenges and problems that we cannot imagine, so rather than simply teaching students to acquire known facts and knowledge, true education is about equipping students with skills that will enable them to effectively handle any challenge. Education is not about the accumulation of facts and data, it is the formation of the person that you have become. The greatest education we can give our students is to equip them with skills, morality, and social intelligence to meet the needs of an ever-changing world. Thank you for listening.